80s heat, 80s heat, friendship, laughs, and camaraderie.
Guys, welcome to the 80s Heat podcast. This is episode 11, where we talk about all things 80s and we celebrate everything that was freaking awesome about the 80s. We cannot let that decade go, and nor should you. I was checking out our subscribers. We've actually crossed the 150 now.
Are we?
That happened.
Holy jeez!
As we record this, as we record this, I think we're at like 152. So that means that means we're a very, very new channel, right? So that means that 152 people.
Episode 11. That's not very many episodes.
If we did a wrestling show at the old pavilion, we wouldn't have gotten 150 people watching us.
No.
You'd have 30 people.
Yeah.
Probably half of them would be lower functioning.
Oh boy, is this something else?
But some of the best wrestling fans are lower functioning because they still believe, and that's good.
Teeth optional.
Teeth are optional.
You know what? I'm the biggest wrestling fan there is, so that should tell you something. I can make this joke, Jake can make this joke, because we're wrestling fans, and you know, we're not the brightest either.
Yep.
Ian's a wrestling fan, but he's smart.
Yeah, you're an anomaly, though.
Nothing smart about me.
Yeah.
But that means that like about 152 people at this point give enough of a shit about what we have to say to make us part of their lives. So thank you. We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
And you can always show your appreciation back by just clicking that like button and and maybe commenting and just like Jake suggested in the last episode. Great suggestion, by the way. If you want us to talk about anything in particular from the 80s, pop it down in the comments below and we'll see what we can do.
We'll banter about it. Absolutely.
We sure will. Yeah.
Yeah, there's really nothing off the table. You know, anything that you were passionate about on the 80s. And if it's not something that, you know, maybe we're particularly knowledgeable about, we're not going to just wash that away. I think that if our good viewers have taken the time to suggest something, then I'll take the time to research it and have a conversation about it.
Well, really, like, nothing's off the table. We even have a Kenmore sewing machine on the table. Yeah. I don't know why Ian put that on there, but we debated that a little bit, and Ian was adamant that we put the Kenmore sewing machine on the table. I said, well, okay, we'll work with it.
Well, it's important to be cultured. Like, we had a candle a couple times. And now we've got a sewing machine.
If there's one thing you know about Ian, Ian loves his sewing.
It is a nice sewing machine.
Yeah,
it's a Kenmore.
And it's a Kenmore, and that's a good brand.
Yeah.
Like, washers, dryers, the Maytags, like, they don't make them like they used to. Now they break in a couple of years, but back then they'd last forever.
There was a great promotional tactic when Peyton Manning, when Peyton Manning was just going strong as the Indianapolis Colts quarterback. Like, the guy never missed a game.
Yep.
And the joke was the backup quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts wanted to audition for the Maytag repairman. Because the Maytag repairman, his character was he was always bored.
Okay.
Because he never had anything to do because the Maytag never broke.
Yeah.
So it was like this tongue in cheek. It's like, I'm frickin' Peyton Manning's backup quarterback. I never have to do anything either.
The Maytag repairman. Yeah. That's a decent job.
It was a decent job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Decent job.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about growing up in the 80s. Is that?
You know, just I think like straight up like things we did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the young hucklebucks of today's world, it's all iPads and Facebook and Twitter and Tickety Talk and Snapchat and all these things. Well, we didn't have those things in the 80s. No. We played dangerous games with dangerous objects. Lawn darts. They're banned in Canada. I played with lawn darts all the time. And, you know, just what it was, you know, what we did growing up, whether it be on the school playground, whether it be in our backyards.
What did we do? Did you know that kids wear helmets now tobogganing?
They banned tobogganing in Toronto.
I remember me and my buddies, and we had to do it old school. We'd have to haul our GT snow racers to the hill. Our parents wouldn't drive us, so we would have to hike to the hill. And then we had a pretty good hill where I grew up, and there was no helmets. You didn't wear helmets. That was freaking... You'd be laughed off the hill. Yeah. And then you'd all start... So me and my buddies, we'd all start at the top of the hill, and the goal was to make sure nobody else actually made it down. Mm-hmm. And you would crash into each other. You would freaking... you would purposely drive and spear people in the side, and it was just a fight to the death. And if you were the one that made it to the bottom of the hill, then you were the victor, and you'd clean up the corpses that you left off the hill as you climb back up to do another run. And those GT snow racers, those were heavy. That was a bit of a hustle to get them up there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My hill had you'd go down the hill and there was a big forest.
Oh.
And it was you'd go and you had to stop before the forest, because if you didn't, you were going to hit a tree.
Yeah, you were not going to miss the tree.
But you also couldn't be a wimp.
No.
And brake too soon.
No, nobody used the brakes on a GT. No, they might as well have taken those off.
An act of cowardice.
Yeah.
And we'd go in, and I think one kid broke his leg.
Yeah, well, that's the cost of doing it.
It was the 80s, this is what we did. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what was another one that, it's dangerous now.
Yeah.
This one just drives me nuts. Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah.
Schools ban dodgeball now.
Are you kidding?
Because they feel that it targets
I don't know why I'm surprised.
It does target the weak.
But let me tell you something, Jacob.
But that's okay.
Let me tell you something, Jacob. I was damn good at dodgeball.
Were you good at throwing or dodging?
Both.
Okay.
I was very good.
Yep.
I mean, there was one time where it came down to me and one other kid.
Okay.
In a classroom.
So was this kid...
I was the sole survivor.
Who this kid you were up against? Was he a fellow athlete?
Well, he made it to the finals. He was no joke.
Yeah, but you could also hide in the back corner and just freaking dodge and just... Because you'd always have that one freaking blowjob that would just sit and hide in the back, and then just nobody would throw it, then they'd forget about them, right? And then it's you and this freaking kid that's just a weakling, can't throw, and
so this
just knock him out.
This is my point.
So you had a fellow Titan.
This is my point.
Yeah.
I was good at dodgeball.
Okay.
Now I wouldn't be allowed to play dodgeball, even though I'm good at it, because I might be picking on some kid that's not good at it.
Yeah.
I am horrible at art.
Okay.
Now, I would go to art class every freaking day and embarrass myself. Mm-hmm. I suck at art. Mm-hmm. And there is not a chance that some parent, teacher, council would be like, you know what? We need to stop painting because it makes my little Mark feel insecure about himself. No, I'm not good at art. Those kids are good at art. And I have to accept the fact that there are things that some people are better at than others. And I need to learn how to be strong and handle it.
How are your stickmen?
So if they don't have to ban art for me, some kid doesn't need to have dodgeball banned for him. Dodgeball!
Yeah, the world's gone.
Dive.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good movie too.
It was a good movie.
Yeah. Dodge a wrench.
Yeah.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball was good. That was a good time. Yeah.
Love dodgeball. What about you? Growing up in jolly old England?
It's a bit different. I don't ever remember having dodgeball.
But you can even call them Ninja Turtles.
Hero Turtles. Yeah. But we didn't have the winter stuff as much, the toboggan and stuff, because we just don't have that much snow there. So it's not even ice hockey isn't really a thing over there. I mean,
yeah, it's not, is it?
Not really.
I've never heard of a British hockey team.
No.
They're not potent on the international
No,
scene.
like winter sports are not a massive thing over there because we don't get a lot of snow and right.
Well, you guys are just so rabid.
But you guys
sports
have
you love. You're just rabid.
Yeah, so
you guys have the drinking Olympics. You drink a lot of beer.
No, we do drink a lot of beer.
so
We're
that's
very
a-
good at that.
that's a sport.
If that was an Olympic sport, we'd be world champions every year.
There's few countries that I think are better than Canadians.
The
at
Germans,
drinking.
the Germans are good drinkers,
Germans,
and the
yeah.
British.
The Germans,
are
the
good
British, Canadians are up there. But I think for Canadians, it's like, it's so freaking cold. What else are you
Yeah.
going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in England, you very rarely get cans this size. They're usually the big tall boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not fucking around.
Well, that Luke I know likes to tie one, but he likes to
son
go
of a-
back. Hey, that guy. That
Oh, we went a whole episode with that mentioning Luke, didn't we?
Yeah.
I never really cared for that guy.
Poor Luke. Like he's had more hate lately than frickin' Vladimir Putin,
Well deserved.
Justin Trudeau,
well-deserved
and
hate.
Donald Trump
Yeah.
combined. He's had so much hate.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of deserves it.
Well,
I
if
guess.
he wasn't on the opposite time zone,
But I feel like I'm
schedule,
going to go easy on him today.
we would call him right now. We would call him right now and tell it to his face that we never really cared much for him.
We should do that. One episode, we should just.
We'll have to do an earlier episode.
No, it's better if we wake him up.
Better if we wake him up at 3 in the morning.
3 in the
Okay,
morning.
that's fair.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, that's what he deserves, really,
Yeah.
truly.
He does deserve that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. They're like 7 hours ahead of us.
Extremely obnoxious, that Luke guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one cares for him.
You probably wouldn't even appreciate this sewing machine that we have on the coffee table.
I know, man. Like
How could you not appreciate a good
my
sewing
prized
machine?
possession. Yeah.
Well, you were trying to sell that.
My wife purging it. And
Why?
Jake just decided to put it. He found it in my wife's office and just decided to put it here for fuck knows.
It was brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway. So
You mark my words. That sewing machine's going to be bigger than the Beatles.
yeah.
Calling it right now.
Kenmore's going to be phoning us here after this episode.
So-
He'll be like, hey, we want to sponsor you. We want to sponsor you with a line of sewing machines that we're putting out, and we really think 80s Heat could take it to the next level.
It's even still the
It
little
even
cotton
comes
reel.
with some
Cotton
thread.
reel. Yeah, there you go.
We're throwing in freaking extras here.
It's got a
This
little
is
foot pedal
You know
thing. and-
what Taylor Swift has done for football.
80s Heat.
What
Well,
ADC is
sewing
doing to the sewing game.
Yeah. Kenmore, eh?
So to answer your question, what do we do in the UK? A lot, in our spare time, a lot of soccer, a lot of football, right?
Yeah.
Rugby, when we went to school, even in our like free periods, our break times, we had a uniform. So we all wore the same thing, right? It's not like it's weird. You know, like our kids just kind of wear what they want, but we all had to wear uniforms, and that's how it is in most schools still over there. So
And why is that?
so
Why
yeah,
do you-
in our break periods, we'd play football, but we'd have to be careful not to do any sliding tackles because you get like mud on you and stuff, and you get mud all up your pants. And then rugby, you're tackling people, right? So we'd have something called touch rugby, where you just kind of like tag people and whatever, right? And yeah, touch rugby, and then yeah,
That
just
sounds lame as hell.
no, it's
Not actually,
It,
like,
was
physical
it was
contact
it
is
was
pretty
kind
important.
it was kind of fun, yeah. But yeah, we used to do all sorts. If the football pitches were taken up, we'd play something called Wally, where you just basically kick a soccer ball against the wall. So I'll kick it, it rebounds to you, you boot it, and you got to get it at an angle to try and get it to me, and just stuff like that.
Doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah.
It's fun. You
Let
just
me tell you about a game. You take a ball
kick against the wall.
and you kick it.
But that's the thing, though. We had fun doing that. It occupied our time.
Well,
Because-
absolutely.
Because the simple things in the 80s, back in that day, entertained us.
Yeah.
That's the point, right? It
I
was
agree.
such a simple... Another one that just came to mind. We used to, in the fall, have you ever heard of Conkers, the game?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
It's a British game.
So,
Conkers. Maybe there's a Canadian equivalent.
That
Let's
would be
find out.
it would be probably called like bloodbath because the British have to
Soften
tame things
yes.
down, soften it down.
So UK people, if you remember Conkers, comment below. I'd like to hear from you. But like basically, it was like the fruit from a horse chestnut tree, So the okay.
Horse chestnut.
Yeah.
What that's very specific.
I know. Yeah.
What's wrong with an apple?
Yes. So it's not fruit that you just eat, right? So it's like a big spiny thing, and you rip the spiny thing off, and it's got like a big nut inside, like a big seed, right? It's like a big ball, right? And it's solid. Some are more solid than others, and I'm getting to it, right? So what you do is you would drill a hole through this thing, and you would tie a shoelace and put a knot there. And like,
Sorry, this just sounds really funny so far.
it is funny. It's good, but
It is.
What
I thought you guys were pretty smart over there, and I'm starting to.
yeah. So
I was like, you know what would make a great game?
Find a horse chestnut fruit.
Now, of course, we're going to need a shoelace and a drill.
but that thing was called a conker. That's what you called it, a conker.
Oh, I thought you were conquering. It's a conca.
No, a conker.
Oh.
Conker, I think. So yeah, so you drill a hole, you put a shoelace through, you tie a knot in the bottom, so it's like hanging off a shoelace with this thing on the bottom, right? So like me and you would on our break time, do you want a game of conkers? Sure. And then you would bring your own, like that you found
Your own horse chestnut.
Then
Shoelace.
yes,
After all the tree.
well, no, what, so
You just have it in your backpack,
You
eh?
asshole.
You just fucking, because you never know when you're going to need it.
Well,
Fucking conquer.
to
Do
be
you have a
fair,
conker on you right now? Like that?
Let's pull it up.
I don't because
Let's have
I
a
don't
match.
think there are things. in
Oh,
this
for
country.
fuck. Where are you going to find a horse chestnut tree?
But over there, like those things fall on the ground all the time. Like wherever there's those trees, they're on the ground. So you just go around collecting them. And I remember any one time, in my school bag, I would have a bunch of them. I'd have like a collection of them. So then what you do is what you're taking in turns, right? And it's who could break the other person's conker first. So it's like a turn-based thing, right? So I just hold mine on the end of a thing, right, on the end of its shoelace, and then you would kind of like wrap it around your hand, yours, so it's on a little short thing, and you just try and hit mine and try and break it, and hopefully you didn't break yours.
Pogs.
Yeah, and then it's okay, mine didn't break, so now and then you take in turns, right? And then I try and break yours, you try and break mine. So then, but what people started doing was they started like going home and getting like the mom's nail varnish or whatever, and like putting coat after coat after coat, and like but to try and strengthen your conker. But that was in the rules. You were allowed to do that. So people were using like wood varnish and stuff, and there's some people that just have like an indestructible
around it.
conker.
You just
Yeah,
It's
but
like a bowling ball. The conker's in there.
it's in there.
So obviously you guys have never heard of it.
No.
But that was something we did, and it was
Yeah.
something so simple, and we kind of took it seriously, and it was bragging rights. My fucking conker beat all these guys. Do you know what I mean? And it was like,
We did marbles, and same thing.
yeah, just so simple, man, but so awesome, and we were entertained by it.
I like it.
Yeah. Did you guys, going back to like the Canadian climate and winter, snowball fights?
That's another thing.
That's a lost start. That's a lost start. And I remember growing up, we would build forts. You would take the time, you'd build 2 forts, and then you would have your buddies, you'd have a freaking hell of a snowball fight, but then you'd get dirty and you'd start to like put water on, you make ice balls, right? Because you wanted, because really a snowball fight never ended until like everybody had to go home. Because you're going to hit each other with snowballs. But as soon as you brought the ice balls into the mix, okay, now you're breaking skin. And it was very good. It was...
To be fair, like, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, though, I mean, you're taking a large block of ice. And I mean, go down to your local store and those bags of ice.
Yeah.
Take one of those and think, what would be a larf?
Yeah.
Throwing this
Yeah,
as hard as they can at another human's head.
Yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah.
And we had fun, damn it.
Yep.
We had fun, damn it.
Yeah, those are good times. Those are good times. Yeah, and you know what, back in the day, you didn't have phones. Your parents couldn't track you, and so you'd just walk around the neighborhood and knock on your friends' doors, and they'd be able to hang out, or they weren't.
Yeah, it's like, are you coming out? Oh no, I can't. I'm grounded.
Okay, then you go to the next house.
Do you have that term here, grounded?
Oh yeah.
That means you're not allowed to play out.
Yeah.
But that's what you would do. Like, you would go to a buddy's house.
Yeah.
Hey man, let's go. You didn't have scheduled play dates?
No.
Some of the kids in my kids' class, they call it play dates.
Yeah.
I've like banned that word in my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, son, no,
just
hanging out with a buddy.
Yeah.
None of this play dates.
Play dates.
And the parents have to like organize it.
Yeah.
My mom, my dad never organized anything.
No.
Pick up the phone, call, walk over to my buddy's house.
Yeah.
Let's play.
It's like that. It reminds me of that meme, and it's so true. Like, and it's just like it's a photo, and it's a bunch of like BMX bikes on a driveway, and it's like back in the 80s. This is how we knew where all the kids were.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right. It's like you just drop it, and you never thought about someone's going to steal my bike. It was just drop it.
Yep.
Just leave it there, and just go into my buddy's house and hang out, play NES or whatever the hell you were doing.
Yeah.
I remember we were entertained by the simplest of things. Like just when I first got my BMX bike, and then we started making ramps and then trying to do stunts and
jumps.
stuff,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Jumps and then trying to ride down steps and stuff, right? Like, and I wiped out so many times, man. And just road rash all over.
And
But
you remember?
it was just a learning curve, and my mum and dad would be like, basically the equivalent of FAFO, right?
Do you remember?
That's what it is. It's part of the learning curve. You're going to get injured.
Do you remember carting your buddies around on your bikes? Like you'd have one guy in the handlebars and sitting on the back, and you'd have like 4 people on your freaking bike and around. Back in the day, and now they got those little frickin' Segway things, and you see these blowjobs on these one-wheelers and these frickin' Segways and these little. And then they'll wear their workout gear, like they're freaking going for a workout.
You've got a real problem with Segways, haven't you? You've mentioned this before.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
3 things.
I feel like
the military,
Segways, the brave men and women who give their lives to us every day. And for some weird reason, he doesn't like your mom.
or Superman. This guy is full of hate. Or Luke. 5 things.
And Luke,
Oh my god.
You know what?
You're just this life burning ball.
I choose love. Okay.
I do.
What's something you like?
What do they do?
Oh.
What do I like?
Yeah. What do you like?
Protein shakes and sewing machines.
What is it with you and this fucking sewing machine?
This is great right here. This is a great example of what can be done if you put your mind to it. You can sew something.
I did for our.
There you go.
I learned to sew to put my Christmas sweater together for our Christmas heat thing. I didn't use that fucking thing though. I used my hands.
Well, imagine you
Wife
had.
taught me how to do
Imagine
that.
you had. You even got some extra yarn.
Jake, are you able to sew?
Absolutely not.
You should sew something.
Right now, plug that shit in.
I think that on the next episode, you should sew something onto you.
Well, once Kenmore calls and we get sponsored, and I get my own Kenmore sewing machine, then I will sew you a knitted sweater. Well, I guess that's knitting. That's not sewing.
That's knitting, yes.
Okay, well, then I'm fucked.
That's something, and you're going to laugh at me, and I know it's probably not cool, but my mum taught me to knit, and I knitted a scarf for a Paddington bear that I had. Do you know what Paddington bear is?
Yeah, he's the lovable bear that wears the raincoat.
He likes his marmalade and stuff. Yeah, I made a little blue scarf.
They made a movie.
I knitted a scarf.
You knitted a scarf?
I knitted a scarf. That was the only thing I've ever knitted in my life. My mum taught me. I just wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. And I knitted a scarf for Paddington bear.
Jeez.
Interesting.
Climbing trees was another thing I used to do. I just used to see big trees and just want to climb them.
Yeah.
And the higher the better.
Yeah. Did you ever try to climb a fir tree on the inside?
I don't know.
Like you couldn't. Well, no, like a Christmas tree.
A spruce tree.
A spruce tree.
Spruce
tree. Yes. So
I find horse chestnut trees.
Oh,
trying to find conkers.
Conkers. Okay, yeah.
All right. We're going to go over the matches for the tournament.
Okay.
The tournament is going fast and furious here now. We're completing up the Hulk Hogan division. There's only going to be one more division before we go to the second round, which will be the respective division semifinals.
Oh, okay.
Which case then we'll have the finals, which will create the final four and then
we will have a champion.
we'll have champion. And what a spectacle that will be.
Oh, yeah.
I think that it will be appropriate that when a champion is crowned, we will reach out to the respected actor
Champion or
who
actor.
played the character, and we'll see if they'll come on the show.
Yeah, we'll bring them out.
Yes.
They'll have to pay to come out. But they're-
You know what?
It's
for
an honor.
only like 50 grand,
Yeah.
we could get The Undertaker to come out. Probably have to pay for his hotel and for his flight. But think about that. For only 50 grand,
yeah.
The Undertaker could sit right there and talk about the 80s with us.
You could talk about sewing machines with us. It'd be
I'll bet.
groundbreaking. I bet you.
He just sits there and he's like, to be honest, guys, I wasn't going to come. But then Jake brought up the sewing machine.
Sponsored by Kenmore.
He's got a whole catalog of things he's sewn over the years.
A coffee table book of my sewing creations.
We're all looking at the time like, you should probably be getting going, Undertaker.
Have you ever sewed with
I
a
got
Kenmore? Yep. Yep.
Well, do you know what? Like, if we keep getting subscribers and then we end up monetizing,
get
then
sponsored
maybe
by
we will
Kenmore.
bring the Undertaker on. Who knows?
Yeah.
Undertaker, we know you're listening.
Or Mark, as we like to.
Well, Joe Rogan got him on his
Big Mark.
podcast, so
Yeah, we're bigger than him.
well, we are.
Wait,
Joe
wait,
Rogan is
yeah.
threatened by our presence here, and
Joe Rogan doesn't have a Kenmore.
he definitely does not. I've never seen the Kenmore sewing machine on Joe Rogan's
and you
podcast.
might never.
I guess if we had the Undertaker, it would be the Reaper.
Oh,
So
Tournament.
yeah.
Tournament.
Who's fighting? Who's fighting in this one?
we've got two matchups.
Two matchups.
Well, we'll go with the first, and I
go
think
with the
that
first, we won't go with the second?
I think that there's one that might be a little more close than the other, but you never know. That's why we play the games, right? The first matchup from the movie Aliens. Now, as is recognized, that if a movie is in the 80s, you are then allowed to use the movies from that character from the other decades that go apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from the movie Aliens, which bridges into Alien, you know what? She has to be in the tournament. We have to put Ellen Ripley in the tournament. We're having a tournament for the best, tough, badass, iconic characters of the 80s. And frickin' Ellen Ripley's one of those. She's our only female in the tournament. Sarah Connor didn't get in, more so because her prominence as a tough character was in the 90s.
Which 91.
Yeah. Whereas Ellen Ripley was badass in a movie in the 80s. Sarah Connor wasn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ellen Ripley. And Ellen Ripley is going to be battling Bruce Wayne from Batman.
Sorry.
Now, this is important. This is important. This must be
Bruce Wayne versus. Oh.
This must be Michael Keaton exclusive.
Yep. Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne, yeah.
So when you've got a character like Batman, I mean, there's so much to choose from, and you could just pick any universe, any character, and it just go on forever. He'd be indestructible.
Yep.
So we're going the exclusive portrayal of Bruce Wayne, played by Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Comics don't exist. Adam West doesn't exist. Christian Bale doesn't exist. Ben Affleck doesn't exist.
Val Kilmer.
Kilmer doesn't exist. George Clooney
Who's
doesn't
the skinny
exist.
guy that wouldn't work out?
Pattinson. He's
Oh, yeah.
not.
That's
Pattinson.
cancelled.
Even the iconic
He wasn't
cartoon
even
doesn't
born in the 80s,
exist.
I don't think.
We're talking straight up Michael Keaton, Batman.
That's my favorite one.
It's my favorite
Yeah.
one. It's amazing.
It was incredible. Let's start with Big Jake, then I'll go second. You
Sure,
go third, 'cause
yeah.
I don't think you got third.
Okay.
Last week, I don't think you went
Well,
third. So
First off, I've got to make it clear that Ellen Ripley is not attractive whatsoever.
You made
Very
that clear in
unattractive.
episode 1.
Very unattractive
clear.
woman.
Yeah.
Especially in Aliens when she's in her underwear there, and it's not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight. And then I actually read on the internet. I don't know why I was reading this.
It's false, that, by the way. The bush.
Yeah, that's what I read.
It's false.
It's not true. I thought they had to edit out the bush because.
Oh, hang on! No, it's on the internet. It must be true.
Yeah, well,
sure.
I figured. I figured it was probably accurate. So it's not true that
It's not true.
Okay. Well, it doesn't make her any more attractive. But regardless, okay, we'll get to the point here. And you got Batman and Ellen Ripley in a ring together.
Yeah.
Like Ellen Ripley was all about weapons, and she was tough. She was a resilient woman. I'll give her that. And
It's very kind of you to give her that, Jake.
She fought some scary motherfuckers, some scary freaking aliens that I would probably be pretty nervous about going toe to toe with. And she had to use weapons though. So like in terms of hand-to-hand combat, and I feel like Batman actually is skilled in hand-to-hand combat. He's got to rely on tools, and he doesn't have any superpowers like that asshole Superman. He just has to fight, and he's gonna mop the floor with Ellen Ripley. Like this isn't even a match. This is very quick, and yeah, like Batman wins it, Bruce Wayne wins it, no problem, quick match. It's not even close.
1-0. Okay.
1-0. I'm gonna go a little off here. Now, first and foremost, I like the Michael Keaton Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that movie. Jack Nicholson as the Joker is top notch.
One of the best.
The music was great. You know, Prince had an awesome video from that. That movie was great.
The Bat Dance.
The Bat Dance. Batman himself, I don't know. I don't get what the whole fuss is with Batman at all. You know, Jake cut this promo this one time about how he doesn't like Superman because Superman's too perfect.
He is perfect.
But every freaking Batman movie that's ever made, Batman is perfect.
Oh,
Nobody can.
his parents died.
Nobody can. So did Superman's.
But did they die at the hands of the bad guy?
His whole planet literally exploded.
Oh yeah, but then everybody died.
In every movie, it's always the same thing. Batman is the coolest guy in the room. He's the wittiest guy in the room.
Yeah.
He's the charmingest guy in the room. He's
richest
the
guy.
toughest guy in the room. Nobody ever beats Batman at anything ever. And it's annoying. And then people say, oh, Superman's perfect. And you know what? Superman's entire planet was exploded, and he still chooses the right. Batman, 2 people died like 30 years ago, and the dude is still just this bitter, jaded old guy who can't get over it. And it's like, what's the appeal of this character? I don't get it.
He's dark.
Get it. Yeah, he's dark.
It's dark.
I will say
It's like
something.
the Punisher.
He just can't
It's
let
like the
shit
Punisher.
go, and
Yeah.
that's not a good role model for children.
Well,
And you know something? There's such thing as physical strength and emotional strength. And I would suggest to you, mental strength, Superman shows his mental and emotional strength every day by powering through despite tragedy. Whereas Batman, he just kind of dwells
How
on
did
it.
this turn into a Batman versus Superman?
Everything turns into a Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
But I digress. The Michael Keaton Batman was great. Now, we don't see a ton of fighting, straight up fighting from Michael Keaton. And when we do, he's got tools, and he's also got something else, and you know where I'm going with this. I'm sure Jake hasn't put it together yet. He's always wearing body armor. So we don't really know how much this guy can take, what he can do, straight up Bruce Wayne.
So is he allowed the body armor in the
No,
Octopus?
Jake.
They're not
How
gonna
long
let-
have we been doing this now?
So no body armor.
No weapons, no
So
armor.
it's just Bruce Wayne.
It's just Bruce Wayne. It's
just
just
in
Michael
the
this,
Joe
this is,
Blow.
this is not Batman.
Oh.
This is Bruce Wayne.
This is Bruce Wayne.
Well, why didn't we let Batman the tournament?
Because Batman,
he has body armor?
Batman is Batman because he's fucking covered in armor and gadgets.
So we just let Bruce Wayne.
It's
That's
Bruce
it.
Wayne. It's the guy. He's in a pair of fucking UFC shorts. That's it. It's just
He's
Bruce
in
Wayne.
his UFC tights.
Yeah, that's it.
And again, you know,
And then Ellen Ripley's in a little
In a
underwear with a
little
little bush
underwear with
hanging
the
out.
bush.
That's the visual we want
She
you
could
guys to
drown
have.
him. She could drown him in the bush. Maybe she does have a chance. Maybe I should.
We give you time to.
If she got him in the full mount,
you can always change. You can
suffocate by the
nothing's
bush.
set in stone. You can change your mind. You just think about the bush for a while.
She could get him in the face mount, and he'd suffocate.
Yeah.
So. In other variants of Batman, the Christian Bale version, the cartoon version, you really see his training and what he can do when he's just Bruce Wayne. We don't have that in the Michael Keaton version. So I don't think that this Bruce Wayne character has a deep run in him in this tournament.
No.
Now, that being said, he's fighting Ellen Ripley. I love the Ellen Ripley character. I think that she's resourceful. I think she's tough. I think she's badass. But in the confines of an octagon, I don't think she could win this one. No. So basically what I wanted to do was just sort of present the Bruce Wayne et al. And that I think he's a bit more flawed than people might originally think when they hear the word Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. But in today's match, in today's round, I vote Bruce Wayne.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Ian. You're doing some research.
I'm just gonna
stats.
I'm just gonna look up Ellen Ripley.
Oh, you're confirming the bush shot.
No, not the bush, but I just want to check out her physique because
she's in good shape.
Well, from memory, she was very slim. Hey.
Yeah, she was
very petite,
but she was still in good shape.
Oh, she's in good shape, but she's fucking slim, hey.
Yeah, Batman's in better shape.
Yeah. Anyway, my turn?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so, first of all, what I'll say is I love Ellen Ripley. Like, I even put her above Sarah Connor.
Ooh,
that
is a big deal.
As like my favorite female badass from the 80s. Like I thought she carried a whole franchise, right? 4 movies, and yeah, a couple of the movies were not as good as maybe the first 2, but the first 2 were incredible. And just at the end of, and just all the way through those movies, actually, like she was a real believable hero, and one of the first like female leads to have that kind of like badass, but not in your face badass, not the Michelle Rodriguez angry face. She retained her femininity all the way through those movies, but she was a leader, and like when she spoke, people listened. And you know there was a bit of sexism and all the rest of it, and people didn't take her seriously in the first movie until she fucking proved herself. And she overcame fucking xenomorphs using her smarts. Like, and this was before like woke era and the mind virus and all that kind of bullshit. But like it was very believable. Like, and I love aliens and I love Ellen Ripley. She doesn't have a prayer against Bruce Wayne. She just doesn't. There's a bit in the 1989 Batman where there's some thugs on a roof and Batman makes his entrance, right? And you know the bit where tell all your friends I'm Batman kind of thing? And he's got a guy and he lifts him up. Now, he lifts this guy up off his feet and dangles him over a building with his arms outstretched like that. That takes a lot of strength. This is a fully grown man.
Yeah.
He's wearing the suit, though.
Yeah.
He's wearing a suit, but I don't know that there's any mechanics in it.
Protects the elbows.
I don't think there's any mechanics.
It might. But even so, like that takes a lot to hold a fully grown man over a ledge like that, and then bring him back to I'm Batman. And you know, any glides, you know that's going to take athleticism and strength. We know from the lore that Bruce Wayne is just a warrior. He's training all the time. Like that's just what he does.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton portraying that character, but Bruce Wayne's a badass. Like he deliberately like goes out at night and just takes on criminals, right? And he's fucking fearless. This guy. Ellen Ripley. This might sound sexist. But women generally are not as strong as men for the most part, pound for pound. I know it's 2024 and people might raise an eyebrow at that, but if you're watching this channel, you're probably not raising an eyebrow because you're probably a person of the 80s like us, and you understand.
It's almost like there's a difference between saying people are equal, which they are, and saying people are the same.
Yeah.
They're two different things.
Very different things, yeah. So, and, you know, Ellen Ripley, like, overcame, like, the Xenomorphs and all the rest of it, with her smarts and with the loader, the machine, like the guns, things like that.
Yeah, that was the
I love Ellen Ripley, but this is Bruce Wayne all the way for me. Again, like you, I don't think he's got a huge run in this tournament because there's some absolute freaking juggernauts in this tournament.
Beasts,
This is a no-brainer.
He's got it today. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, Batman's through. Bruce Wayne is through. The Caped Crusader, the Dark Knight.
Just for a quick quiz. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah. I just got a quiz.
Keep going. He says.
We're at the end, Jake.
Well, we got another match.
Oh, we're on, yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna ask who everybody's favorite version of Batman was.
Go on. Yeah.
But Jake's not here. But who's your favorite version of Batman? There, just for kicks. So, Batman, Michael Keaton, came out in 1989.
Yeah.
So since 1989, there's been 2 Keatons, a Kilmer, a Clooney, 3 Bales. Affleck's portrayed him in like 3 different roles, plus the Pattinson. Since 1989, there's been like 12 different Batman movies. That's a lot. That's almost like a Batman every, like, what? 5-6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Some have been good, some have been bad. I find that Batman movies are defined more by how well the villain was played.
Yeah. Nice solution.
You know, that's always the thing. Like, you know, if you say The Dark Knight, people go Christian Bale, Joker. If you say, you know, people remember it from the villain, but there's been some good Batman stories. And as much as I'm not a big Batman guy, I've enjoyed the stories of Batman. So, Jake, we were just setting the table for who's been your favorite portrayal of Batman.
Oh.
And yes, you can include the cartoon, because that cartoon was awesome.
I'm pretty sure I know who yours is.
Oh, you know who mine is.
Yeah.
But, Jake, favorite version?
My favorite would be probably the Christian Bale one.
Yeah. He does a good version.
I like, because he's tough, right? But I really like Michael Keaton too. I like Michael Keaton as the character, but he's obviously not a physical specimen. So, like, in terms of believability, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's your favorite?
Yeah.
Ian?
Oh, it's tough. I want to say Christian Bale because that trilogy was fucking fantastic, and he did such a great job.
Mm-hmm.
His Bruce Wayne was incredible. I just can't get over the whole throat cancer voice. I hated that. It really drew me out of the movie. So I would say because of that and that alone, I know it's stupid, but I would say Michael Keaton. Because Michael Keaton played Bruce Wayne and Batman perfectly for me.
That Christian Bale trilogy, I loved it as well. And again, Batman isn't my thing, but I appreciate a good story, and they told a good story. The one thing that drove me nuts in that trilogy was how Bane dies. Bane is presented as this absolutely wrecking ball, and nobody can touch him.
Yep.
And then just like comes in a motorcycle and shoots him, and he just kind of dies like a jobber. That really sat in my because the whole movie, the whole movie, I'm watching it, and I'm not a spoilers guy, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, how are they going to beat this guy?
Yeah.
And then nobody really beats him. He just kind of gets shot.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
How about that scene? And it still gives me the chills when the police officers have all kind of gotten out of the tunnel and they're walking down the road there, and then Bane and his freaking gang of thugs shows up, and they get all the equipment and the tanks and then the one cop's like, well, there's only one police in this town, and then they just all charge.
It's a great scene.
This is a fucking crazy scene. And I'll still watch it and I'll get goosebumps. Like just that whole idea of the police trying to take back the city from these thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite my favorite Batman. Everybody laughs at me for this, and I make no apologies. I freaking love Adam West Batman.
Just for the
the old guy.
Just for the sheer humor, right?
I just
Shark repellent spray on the back
shark
belt.
repellent spray.
Yeah.
He would just do things like him and Robin, like they're in like a high speed chase, and like the bad guy's getting away, and they hop into the Batmobile. Robin, are you gonna buckle up? But Batman, they're getting away. That's not a good enough excuse for improper safety. And then Robin would have to buckle, and they'd go.
Awesome.
I just thought,
And his arms were like that thick.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell? He's got no chest, like nothing.
he's in
It
the
circled back to the newest Batman that wouldn't work out.
Yeah, there you go.
But there's scene where he's like in the bar and this like beautiful woman's like hitting on him, and he's in his full freaking Batman suit. He's like, I don't like to draw attention to myself. But what I loved about it was they were in on the joke. They were in on the joke, and Adam West, man, he was so funny.
Yeah.
And he stayed relevant until the day he died in the world of entertainment, because he knew how to have fun with himself. Like his Mayor West on Family Guy, where he's like this senile old man, and he finds this kitten, and he's like, what's your name? Paul. Paul's the name of a person, not a cat. He just starts laughing and just keeps going. The man was brilliant at just, he was in on the joke, he knew what his audience wanted.
Yeah.
And I find it hilarious. Whenever I see Batman, it just brings a smile to my face. I make no apologies.
No,
I love Adam West
and that's fair, but that is not Batman, though, right? Batman's a very dark character, and
it's an adaptation.
It's an adaptation, but it's like a tongue-in-cheek parody of Batman.
Yeah.
But I just loved it.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
loved it.
You know, when I was a kid, I loved it too. The power biff thwack thing. What was that? There was one where he had like a gigantic, like cartoon-looking bomb. And he's like running around and trying to ditch it. Like he's like running around, and the fuse is going lower and lower.
And he can't get rid of it because he turns one way, and it's like a bus of children. He turns the other way, and it's like 5 nuns walking. And he's like, sometimes you can't get rid of a bomb. And one of my favorite, and then I'll stop because I could go on about Adam West Batman forever. There's the scene in the movie where the villains shoot like a torpedo at the Batboat. And Batman and Robin are like, this isn't good old chum. It's like it's coming towards us, and then it goes back to the villains. And you hear this huge explosion. And then the Joker, Cesar Romero, freaking fantastic. And he's like, oh, we did it, we killed the Batman. Burgess Meredith was the Penguin from Rocky. And all of this. Catwoman was incredibly sexy. And they all go away happy, merry as can be because they've killed Batman and Robin. And then he comes back to Batman and Robin and they're in their boat. And Robin's just like, wow, Batman, that was unbelievable. Yes, Robin. Who would have thought that right as that torpedo was about to get us, a large whale would sacrifice its life and get in the way. And they just carry on. It's freaking hilarious. I loved it. Adam West Batman.
It was
okay,
funny.
fair enough.
It's funny.
That's good.
You know what? We should watch that Batman movie at 80s Heat one night.
Well,
I've suggested it multiple times.
The hell out of that.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. We'll be in stages, man. Yeah.
I would say that the movie we've all collectively laughed at the most, and maybe we'll have to talk about it at a later heat, is the freaking Naked Gun movies.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Leslie Nielsen.
And I think that Batman movie would generate the same amount of laughs. But there's just something awesome about those guys that can say and do something utterly ridiculous.
It's that old school humor.
Yeah, utterly ridiculous, but look like they're the most serious person in the world.
Well, think about that now. Like, can you ever imagine in this day and age now them making a Batman movie that was slapstick humor and completely away from the character like that was?
Oh yeah,
it just would never happen.
Yeah.
Never happened. No.
But
No, that was a day.
back in the day, they got away with that shit, right? Like,
What? Sorry, I got it. The Naked Gun. When, ironically enough, O.J. Simpson is he gets beat up by all the thugs, and he's laying in the hospital bed, and he's like attached to all these things, and his wife is crying, and then Leslie Nelson and the chief are standing there, and they're trying to console his wife, and the chief is like, "Don't worry, man. We want you to know that when Norberg is back, he's got a place waiting for him with the LAPD." And freaking
Frank
Drebin just chill as can be, and he really thinks he's being like helpful. He's like, unless he's a drooling vegetable. That goes without saying. And then she just breaks down, and he can't figure out what he said was wrong. Just hilarious humor, just that deadpan.
Well, even O.J. Simpson was funny, and we're going off track here, but and I'll end it with this. But that bit where he gets killed, right? They shoot him, and he's like, and he takes all those bullets, and then he'll like burn his hand on something. Then he'll like get his hand in a mousetrap or something, and and something
Mr.
else
Bean
will
style.
happen, something will fall on him, and then he'll go against like a wall. It's wet paint. And oh no!
Incredible,
brilliant. Anyway, Naked Gun, man. Oh,
I
could do a whole episode on the Naked.
Maybe we'll have to.
Yeah.
Leslie Nelson was the man.
Anyway,
Edmonton roots, by the way.
Oh really?
Went to the U of A.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Read him. He had a very interesting life. Anyway, match number 2, which I anticipate is going to be a little bit closer. It's going to be the battle of another classic 80s character, the Battle of Dolph Lundgren. We're going to have 2 iconic Dolph Lundgren characters going at it here.
Dolph versus Dolph.
We're going to have the Punisher. Now, as we discussed with Batman, this must be Dolph Lundgren exclusive.
Yep.
Again, right, Punisher has had a lot of different adaptations. Tom Jane to Dolph Lundgren to
Tom Jane, exceptionally underrated. By the way.
Bernthal. One other fella, his name slips me at the moment.
Ray Stevenson.
That's it, Ray
He's
Stevenson.
a British guy. He's dead now.
He passed away,
a couple
yeah.
of years ago,
But it's got to be exclusive to the Dolph Lundgren film.
yeah.
And he's going to be taking on... I must break.
If he dies, he dies.
I've been
You will lose.
I mean, what can you say? Dolph Lundgren, man. This guy, it speaks to the level of awesome action characters when Dolph Lundgren probably isn't in the top 3.
He-Man. Punisher.
He-Man, the Punisher,
Ivan Drago.
Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
And yet, if you say best action heroes of that time, you're probably, most people are probably going to go Arnold, Sly, Van Damme.
Van Damme, yeah.
Dolph Lundgren was and is awesome.
We had a look.
He had
a unique look.
He is great. He's a brilliant dude. He's like an engineer. A chemical engineer?
He's a chemical engineer.
Chemical engineer. This guy is awesome. And
speaks multiple languages. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Very smart dude.
He just never... He gets his credit from the connoisseurs of great action cinema. But I think that the layman out there, I think he goes somewhat underappreciated. And I think that's a travesty.
I feel like he doesn't carry a movie. I feel like he's the real good number 2, like either the top villain or just part of the movie. Like I don't know if he carries the movie.
He carried the Punisher.
Well, did he carry the Punisher? Because that really didn't go that far. Like John Bernthal did a much better job with the Punisher.
The other thing too about Lundgren though is it kind of a bit of a product of the time, right? Like a lot of that Cold War. People were still apprehensive of Russia and that foreign thing. So when you have this big,
he was
jacked,
perfect
dude,
perfect.
In that time frame, I think it lended more to a villain role. That was the time, right? And I think that's why Ivan Drago was such a perfect fit.
Yes, it was perfect. That was probably his biggest role, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think I could argue that.
Did Dolph Lundgren have a bigger role? He was in a lot of movies.
More iconic. He's done a lot.
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Why don't we start with the man who's wearing a Punisher shirt?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's clear where I'm a huge Punisher fan. I've got the statues and whatnot. I love John Bernthal. Just for the record, John Bernthal's my favourite version of the Punisher.
I agree.
Because I think it's
perfect for him.
Yeah, and it's so like kind of faithful to the source material. So
his uncle-in-law could kick his ass.
Kurt Angle,
man.
Yeah, Kurt's a genuine. He's the deal. Yeah. So I say that. Yeah, I think you know where my vote's going. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it on the spot here. If we're going off just that, I think it was 1980. Was it 1988 or 1989?
For Punisher or Rocky
Punisher.
IV?
No, the Punisher. It's either 88 or 89, I think. But he doesn't actually do much fist fighting. He does a little bit. There is a bit. Most of it's gunplay, right? It's firearms and throwing knives and stuff like that. But there is a bit I remember. We watched it at 80s Heat a couple of years ago, hey. But there's a bit where he's fighting the Yakuza. He goes into like the Yakuza's fucking holdout thing at the end. And there's a bit where he goes into a room and he gets kind of ambushed by two warriors. Like one of them's got like a sword or something, and then the other one's got like a flail, like a chain with a big blade on it. And it's like he just quickly dodges a sword and knocks one of them out like this. Boom, done. Because it's a big, powerful unit, right? Just bang, out. This warrior, and you can tell this is like a martial artist. Done.
What a dumb weapon, the flail. Like, why would you pick the flail when you're looking at your weapons wall? Don't pick the fucking flail.
Oh, you got a lot of damage. You're one of those, buddy.
But you got to be perfect, because as soon as the other guy...
If I came in here swinging a fucking flail, you'd shit your pants.
Well, no, because then I'd grab a better weapon. I'd grab
What would you grab? My Michael Myers doll up there?
Well, okay,
you'd spin it like a hammer throw, and nobody could get anywhere near you.
But
yes.
I guess. Like, if you were like a cowboy and you get the lasso, and they're really good at that, but you better be...
It's not a lasso.
No, but you need to swing it around, and you need to be good at aiming.
But you've created distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
anyway.
You could...
Or you have like a Raphael side.
You could jump over it like a skip rope. Like if you were a skip roping champion growing up, you could...
you know what, every now and then, Jake, you make a point that's so rock solid. It can't be debated. And you're right.
Anyways, he should have beat up the guy with the flail.
Kind of switch off.
I'm assuming
just let me know what I can talk
I'm assuming he beat the guy with the flail.
He did beat the guy with the flail.
Oh,
must not have been a national skip roping.
But as he was beating the guy with the flail, he showed some. Well, there was some punches thrown. He throws like a spinning back kick. He throws a roundhouse kick. He throws like a snap kick. It connects with the guy's fucking face.
The guy with the flail?
Yeah. No, the Punisher. Displays those martial arts.
Okay.
And that's probably the biggest, actually.
How did he beat the guy with the flail? Like, I'm just curious.
Well,
did he have a metal bar that he put out and then just caught the flail around the bar?
I'm fucking telling you.
He's literally in the process of telling you.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
How did he beat him?
Okay, with roundhouse kicks, spinning back.
So wasn't the guy throwing the flail around?
Yeah, so he swung it at him, he dodged, and he started like hitting him. And then eventually...
With the flail. So that's a stupid weapon, I think we've all agreed, because he dodged it.
Okay, anyway. So then Castle like grabs a spear off the wall, because there's fucking weapons everywhere. And then Castle actually...
But he didn't grab another flail, he grabbed that spear.
Yeah, Jake doesn't like flails.
Just Give me my sewing machine.
You can keep.
So I'm not grabbing the flail off the wall. I'm grabbing the sewing
you can
machine.
absolutely keep.
I'm taking out.
You could use this as a flail. You could like swing it around.
I feel like that guy in that Simpsons episode where he's like, he looks at Lisa and he's like, "Here's a ball. Perhaps you'd like to bounce it." Jake, here's a sewing machine.
It's my Kenmore. Kenmore.
Yeah, just kind of like play around.
Give us a call.
Like,
Give me a call. I'll sponsor your sewing machines. If you still make these.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. So Frank Castle at some point grabs a spear off the wall, pierces this guy with it, and then pins this guy to a wall off his feet. I'm just saying that shows that Frank Castle's pretty damn strong.
He's happy as a pig in shit now that he's holding his camera.
Yeah. He's happy he's got his sewing machine. I'm going to go for a pig while you get over your sewing machine fucking...
Okay, so who did you pick, Ian? Who won?
I'm thinking it
You're still debating.
The thing is... Fucking hell, what now?
Sorry, I just can't take him serious.
You gave it to me.
I know I did.
Oh, jeez. So in Rocky 4, Ivan Drago's like punching those pads, right? And there's like, as he gets juiced up and juiced up and juiced up, the
steroids are legal.
Steroids are legal. Yeah, no enhancements other than steroids. We've clarified this. But someone did the math on the poundage, the pounds per square inch that he actually generates at the end with one of his punches. And someone said if you were to actually get punched in the face with that force, then it's literally like getting shot in the face at point blank range with a shotgun. I don't think Frank Castle could, given everything, like the same height, same build, same weight, all the rest of it, I think that that would be too much power for Frank Castle to handle, so I'm going to go Ivan Drago.
Okay, Ivan Drago. I wasn't expecting that. Mm-hmm. I thought you were going with Castle.
Nope. Yeah, I did originally, but I loved the Punisher, but I've got to go Drago.
I'll go next. We'll save the main event for last here. Yeah, you know.
Plus, I just don't want to mention flails ever again. You've kind of got PTSD from that now.
You know, I mean, Punisher is, like, I don't know who came out first. I'm going to guess Batman came out first. Batman and Punisher, they're kind of interchangeable, right? Like, they had their family tragedy, now they hate the world, now they live in darkness, now they want to kill everybody, blah, 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 blah. John Wick, it's been done a million times, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm in the minority. Like, I get that. I don't love Star Wars. Star Wars is a phenomenon. The Punisher, he doesn't really do it for me just because I think the story's been done too much and I'm tired of it. But that being said, I'm in the minority because a lot of people love the Punisher. The Dolph Lundgren version, I like it. My personal favorite Punisher was Tom Jane. I actually really liked that movie.
It's a good movie.
I think for me, I liked that they incorporated just a little bit of humor into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just tired of the I'm dark, I'm tough, I'm a badass character. And I just thought the Tom Jane version just blended in a little bit of humor.
Yeah, that bit where he's fighting the Russian, is it Kevin Nash?
It's Kevin Nash, yeah.
That's
like
good
he ends up like they go down the stairs together, like they fall down the stairs and they've both just been through a war. And then Castle stands up and then all the people are on looking. And they go, is everything okay? And he goes, I'm okay. He's not. And then he just kind of falls back, just passes out. It's just funny. Like,
it's funny, yeah. And again, everybody likes different things. And so I get that there's obviously a very popular market for the Punisher. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
That being said, I did like the 80s film. The character is... Yeah, I mean, he's badass. I think he does wear a bit of armor, but not enough that you would look at it and be like, oh, I think that's...
Oh, at the end, he's just wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
But not enough. There's not enough there that would make me think that he's really hindered. But then you got Ivan Drago. There's the only rebuttal, like, people could say, well, Drago lost to Rocky. He lost to Rocky in a boxing match. Mm-hmm. What we're doing here isn't a boxing match. There were many times in Rocky where Drago just beats the piss out of Rocky, and Rocky falls to the ground, and under the rules of boxing, Drago has to stand back and allow Rocky to get back to his feet.
Yep.
In our contest, Drago doesn't have to do that. Drago gets his opponent down, and can you imagine death from above mounting you and coming down on you like this? You're done. And you also got to consider this guy's
whenever he hits, he destroys.
He destroys. This guy's also military trained, so there's a great inference that this guy can probably grapple too. I mean, those freaking Russian soldiers. Yeah. You don't mess around with those guys.
And that's a thing as well. In the 80s Punisher movie, Frank Castle is just an ex-cop, is an ex-detective. In the Punisher, like the other source material, he is like military. But in the movie, he's not. So there's a difference there.
Yeah, and I mean, Russian soldiers, man. Like, there was this really cool show on TV circa like 2000. It's called Deadliest Warrior. I don't know if you guys ever watched it. It was really cool. They would take like somewhat comparable warriors. So they take like
a samurai and
they take like a Comanche versus like a
ninja with a flail.
A ninja with a flare. Oh, they would take like a Spartan versus a gladiator.
Yeah.
And they would take their weaponry and they would even set up like full anatomy.
I think I've seen that, and they chop a watermelon with
and it would break everything down. And anyway, one of the episodes was Green Berets versus Russian Spetsnaz. And they did the whole thing. And yeah, it's just a TV show, but the frickin' Spetsnaz actually won this thing. So you gotta imagine how frickin' trained, skilled, badass Ivan Drago is. You've got him in a situation where he can just get on top of you. He's got the punching power to take you down. If you really wanted to try and take him down, look at his legs. I can't see too many people in this tournament. He can be beat.
But if that math is to be believed, it's superhuman punching power.
Yeah, it's that character is just iconic. I love everything about Ivan Drago. Ironically enough, he's the only character in the first 4 Rocky movies that didn't actually beat Rocky. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
But, Drago for the win. So, what do you think, Jim?
What do I think? So, I actually think differently.
You didn't pick that up, when I said so. There you go.
He has like 2 beers.
Showing you an answer right now. Sewing the facts together to give you an answer, an informed opinion.
A needle pulling thread?
Yes. So I actually think differently. I think in the octagon it's a street fight, and boxing rules are very limiting. I feel like we've seen that in like UFC. We saw that in Bloodsport. Like, boxers, what they know is what they know and what they train for, which is the finesse of boxing. And street fighting is very vicious and cutthroat, and you're kicking people in the nuts, and you're fish hooking, and you're eye gouging.
He's a Russian soldier.
And I think the Punisher, who's also very tough, would beat Ivan Drago. I do. I really do. I think Ivan Drago is tough as nails, and yes, he has military training, but I think Frank Castle fights dirty, and he'll pull out all the stops to beat Ivan Drago. It'll be a close match. He'll get the shit kicked out of him, but I think he gets Ivan Drago in the end. So I'm voting for Frank Castle for the win. So he still loses, but it's 2-1.
Fair enough.
You know what?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is the...
You convinced me! Full switch! Wow! Punisher!
So this has been a...
Good job, Jake.
This has been a long... Ian, for the integrity of the tournament, are you honestly gonna get... for the integrity of the tournament, gonna get your vote switched based off of...
Jake,
he just keeps coming at you.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's not...
You're better than this.
It's not just that.
Boxers are limited.
As we're sat here, and I'm thinking... Again, I was undecided when I went to the washroom. I was like...
Are you implying that Ivan Drago isn't going to get a couple punches in?
Oh, he'll get a couple, but
so if he's got the he's got the punching power to take a bullet to the head or broken ribs, and Frank Castle falls down, you're just going to fall back onto this old. Well, he'll just keep getting up because he's tough.
So in the last episode, I voted for Wesley against Fezzik, but you guys voted for Fezzik based on his strength, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ivan Drago's a lot stronger.
Well, yeah, without a doubt.
He's stronger, he's faster, he's in better shape. This Frank Castle lives in a freaking sewer.
But I voted for Wesley, and I stick by it because of his maneuverability, and I think he's probably more skilled and he's faster. So I think that probably Frank Castle is actually more skilled because we
said he's a cop.
He's a cop
versus a Russian soldier.
But then I thought about it, and I saw him take out 2 Yakuza martial artists, effectively ninjas, right? And he took them out, one with 1 punch done out, and then the other one, the flail.
But what if this Yakuza guy can take a punch and just keeps coming at you? That's his argument.
But he would.
Your argument is being swayed by your love for the Punisher.
But boxers are limited. But
I'm also.
But I just said he's all he has to do is punch the guy down and then get on top of him.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to do anything but punch.
That's the point. He's a boxer, so that's all he does. He boxes, right? And that's great, and he's got a lot of punching power. But Frank Castle has already shown that he's got like other stuff in his arsenal.
He can take a shit kicking.
Does he throw a single kick in that Punisher?
You don't need to throw a kick.
I just told you he throws at least 3 in that one Yakuza fight.
Does he get up, or is it just a little side kick?
No, he gets 1 in the face with a front snap kick, like straight to the face.
Snap, just like that. Do that again, like that, and then curve the toes back, and just like that.
Up, bang. And he,
just like that.
And he throws a roundhouse kick and a spinning back kick.
Yeah,
he's a skilled dude. And
he lives in a sewer. He's got poor nutrition. He's not stronger. He's not faster. Ivan Drago would win this thing.
He's not got poor nutrition. He's jacked. Wow. He's absolutely jacked.
He lives in a sewer.
Well, you can find things in the sewer.
I'm sorry, Jake. I'm with you. 2-1. Punisher. Frank Castle.
Woo! Punisher fanboys. Here we go. He'll just keep coming.
Ivan Drago goes out round 1.
Ivan Drago.
The
guy whose punch is strong enough to be a bullet to the head, but Frank Castle can withstand that because he's Frank Castle and he'll just keep coming.
Keep coming at you.
And you know what, folks? Let's just stop.
I stand by my decision. Totally worth it just to see this. To see this guy squirm.
What we're gonna do. We're just going to do a tournament for second place now because these two will literally just vote.
A poor sport.
These two will literally just vote for Frank Castle on the guise of we'll just keep coming at you.
No. He will. Frank Castle is not guaranteed to win.
He's guaranteed to win.
No, he's not. Yep.
No, I don't know. No. There are some absolute beasts and juggernauts in this.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Frank Castle will keep coming at you. He's tough.
So you don't like the way this match went then?
Here's the thing. I hate the logic of, well, this person's just really tough. Because, and I'll tell you why. Shifting gears now, I accept the vote. Shifting gears now. I've always hated that because anybody, and you guys have been in real fights. Mm-hmm. You guys know as well as I do that this whole, size of the dog in the fight, the size of the fight in the dog, all that is garbage in real life. Yeah. Because in real life, if you get freaking hit in the computer, you're out. If you get hit hard in the ribs, you might be able, and if your ribs are broken, you might be able to come back for one more, another one, and you're done. So when you do an actual fighting competition, who's going to win, I always like it to, and again, I'm just saying in general, I want it to be based on who's the better striker, grappler, fighter.
Well, you saw the snap kick. Show him the snap kick again.
Oh,
that. You see that?
This person.
You see that? You want to take one of those to the face, Marky?
Because
one of those?
If it's always just, well, this person, no matter what you do to this person's really tough. They're just always going to keep coming back. Then what's the point?
It's the snap kick. That is what took down Ivan Drago.
Yeah. And how confident are you that one kick is more powerful than the 50 punches he took from Balboa in Rocky
Kick to the face from Frank Castle is...
You're telling me that one kick is more powerful than the multiple punches he got from Rocky.
Well, how do you know he got one in?
Frank Castle advances 2-1. Game over. That's it. Okay, guys, did you enjoy that? Drop us a like if you enjoyed that, and tell us what you think of Jake and his weird fucking sewing machine fetish. I don't even know what to make of that. But if you're not subscribed, most of our subscribers are not actually subscribed, so subscribe, and then you don't miss out on any future content, because we'll be here with a lot more ridiculousness, I'm sure, pretty soon. Thanks again for watching, guys. Any parting comments?
Marky's going to be in grieving for the next little while.
Oh yeah, he's gonna sulk like there is no tomorrow.
I'm happy.
We'll see if he even shows up to the next filming of
It's a democratic process, and
he says that now. Yeah,
he's going to be filing a grievance.
That's fine. Frank Castle's really tough.
He is. He just keeps coming at you.
And
with that said,
who would win in a fight? A freaking grizzly bear or Frank Castle? Frank Castle, because the bear Frank Castle keep coming back at you.
He might. He's
a dirty fighter.
That is a fair argument that you just put forth.
Ivan Drago.
He's down and out, and you know what? If he dies,
Jake says that Ivan Drago, Frank Castle will fight dirty. Ivan Drago freaking kills a dude, and his response is, if he dies, he dies. Yeah, but he doesn't have the killer instinct, because Frank Castle will fight dirty. He might poke him in the eyeballs.
Well, I won't say it like that.
Or snap kick to the face.
He might take a snap kick to the face. Well, you show us a Frank Castle snap kick.
No.
Show us.
No.
See?
Do you know who I bet can't deliver a good snap kick to the face? Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to.
I don't think he could.
Freaking punch the guy.
I don't think he could. Yeah.
Oh, Marky. This is going to hurt him for a while. Anyway.
Punisher fetish.
ADC.
There he's on.
ADC.
Till next time, guys. Take care.
We'll see ya.